Okay, just a quick intro on this truck. It's a 94 Dodge and apparently has a start stalling problem. However, I started it up and it runs. I don't have my OBD1 scan tool with me for this truck. There are ways to get codes out of an older Chrysler. And what you do, you turn the key on, off, on, and you count the flashes of the check engine light. So we'll watch it. It goes 10s and 1s. I'll count. You guys that aren't seeing can listen. That's 1. There's a pause. 1, 2. That's a code 12. Remember these numbers. 1, 2, 3, 4. There's a pause. 1, 2, 3, 4. Code 5. 45. Remember that? 12 and 45. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 37. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 15. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 55 is end of report. Okay, so read those back to me again. What were they?
12, 45, 37, and 15.
12, 45, 37, and 15.
And 55.
55 is end of report, so it's not a code. And now you see it's done flashing. How's your finger feel on that door buzzer?
All right.
I'm gonna do it one more time to make sure we did it right. Okay.
Okay.
So these go 10s and 1s. So the first group is 10s, the second group is 1s with a longer pause between the codes. So watch it again. I'm not going to count out loud this time. I'm going to cycle it one more time and make sure we got it right. 3 times with the key. Definitely a 12. Four. 1.
How can they know?
45. $37.
This should be 15.
2 hours later.
4, 5,
15. What was the last one?
55.
All right, cool. That's good enough. 55 is going to be our last one. So it's just a way, if you don't have an OBD1 scanner with you, which I didn't bring it, it's a way to get codes, and we at least have some kind of direction. Some of it I can tell you off memory. Code 12 is battery voltage has been interrupted. This is just experience telling me that. At code 12, at some point in time, this battery was dead. It's not a big deal. Ignore that code. I think, not totally sure, but I think a 44 is a lean exhaust code, which does give me 45. 45 I think is a rich exhaust. I think 44 is a lean, 45 is rich, maybe. We'll double check. The 15 and 37 code, I have no idea, I don't remember. 15 might be coolant sensor. That would be cool if it is. We just went over thermistors. Let's go to the... I'm going to look it up right now. We could Google it, I guess, yeah, do that. Instead of going to my computer, we could...
Use our computers in our pockets.
Well, I'm going to go grab mine real quick.
All right, what do we get?
Give me 15 is the one I want.
Vehicle speed sensor, no signal.
Vehicle speed, okay. So
Another one?
What's 37?
37, part throttle unlock circuit.
Part
Opener
throttle
short
unlock.
detected.
All right, so guys, listen up. 15 is vehicle speed. 37 is transmission related.
Last one?
Yep. 45.
45 is turbo boost limit.
45 is
Map sensor detects overboost.
Map sensor. That's cool. And the reason I say that's cool is map sensor is a critical sensor on this This is a speed density engine, so it was what, 45, what was the description again?
Overboost.
No,
sensor
it wasn't
senses
overboost. This is not.
45.
Yeah,
This says turbo boost limit exceeded, but it doesn't have a turbo.
but it says map, something with the map sensor.
Oh, map sensor detects overboost.
Yeah, that's definitely not.
That's definitely not it.
I'm gonna use my program now. All right, so code 15 is no vehicle speed sensor signal, so we're good with that one. See if I was right about code 12. Code 12 is battery disconnect, so we're not worried about that one either. 37 is torque converter clutch solenoid circuit or trans temp sensor signal voltage low. Again, I'm not worried about, for his symptoms, I'm not worried about that one. 45 is overdrive solenoid. So totally misleading as far as what we had. Overdrive solenoid, so this is, again, internal to the transmission. So vehicle speed, trans temp or torque converter clutch, overdrive solenoid, and what was the last one? Or was that all of them?
12, 45, 37, 15.
12, 45, 37, and 15. Whoa. So that was it.
Only 55, but it's
Didn't you tell us about that one time that the transmission would go out the lockout?
Hang on
And it
one
would
sec.
stall?
Hang on. Yeah, 15 was no vehicle speed sensor signal. Okay. Yeah, there is some older systems that had torque converter clutch issues where you come to a stop and the vehicle would violently stall. Chrysler was not one of them. But as I'm thinking about this, we're now starting into class on idle speed control systems, chapter 20. And one of the things that I mentioned in that section is the vehicle speed sensor on some of these systems is used to coordinate the idle speed control motor. And you will have stalling problems on some of these without a vehicle speed sensor signal. So what I need to find out from Pete, I'm not totally sure. He did mention a start stall. Is that only doing it coming to stops? When is it stalling? Is it not restarting? These are all things I need to know from Pete. I need to get him up here. All right, you guys need to hear these questions too because this will give us direction. You won't be on camera, Pete, so you don't have to be camera shy.
How you doing, guys?
Yeah, this is the famous Pete Latorre. What we needed to know, the customer's complaint is stalling. But
Stalling, it starts and he goes to move it and it stalls.
so just moving it, it's stalling out. I mean, he had it towed here, right?
Towed, he was able to back it back into the spot to tow.
But the fact that he had it towed here, guys, makes me think it's not idle speed control related like I just mentioned to you. I don't think it's the torque converter stalling it. We do have a code for the tranny, but did he have any issues at all? He's not complaining about transmission shifting weird or anything like that? Because I got a bunch of tranny codes like vehicle speed and torque converter clutch and what was the other one? Trans temp?
Trans temp low.
Trans temp, but stalling it, but he had it towed. That concerns me. I guess that's really all I needed to know, which
he
is
had it towed and I don't
he
know.
can't keep it running, keeping
Can't
his
keep
foot
it running, right?
keeping his foot on the pedal. He can't keep it running.
Right.
Okay. All right, cool. Then that's all I need to know.
All right.
Thanks, Pete. Okay, so guys, what that does is gives us direction. And what I just mentioned about this vehicle speed sensor that's shown on here, this code 15, I'm not overly concerned about that right now because it's involved with the idle speed control system, but the defining statement that Pete said was this was towed here and he couldn't keep it running by double footing it. A vehicle has just an idle speed control issue, an idle valve issue. You can keep it running by keeping your foot on the gas pedal. And the fact that this was towed here says this is going to go beyond that. And so really right now, my fault codes on this vehicle do not give me very much direction initially. I don't think so. Some of you guys mentioned torque converter clutch, and I know you see the code there, and it could be that. It is possible. I've never seen it on a Chrysler, so I'm deferring to my previous knowledge here on a Chrysler of any kind. Have never seen a converter lock up and do like I have on GMs. So what I need to do right now, given that the codes I don't believe initially are leading me anywhere, is I need to recreate this. And if I can't recreate it, then I can't do anything with it. Okay? How much can we recreate it with the 17 of us here and my camera? Probably not very well. I don't know. I'm not going to drive it because they had it towed here. what I need to do is I need to start it up and maybe get it hot and try to move it a little bit. I'm previous memory on a Dodge truck, the cam crank signals and vehicle speed sensor. Had a student's car that would stall every time he moved the truck and moved forward, but it would not in reverse. The vehicle speed sensor wiring was rubbing on the front drive shaft, and it was shorting out the 5-volt reference circuit. But it would only do it in the forward direction because of the way the wear was on the conduit of the harness. When he went in reverse and the drive shaft moved backwards, it wouldn't short it out. And so in that case, that's what it was. I don't think that I would see that again.
Check it out.
We could do a visual and make sure we don't see wiring laying on the front drive shaft. But I think I'll do that. In the meantime, I'm going to start it up and see what it does. Can you see where experience is your friend over the years? You have these points of reference that you go by, and hopefully you can use it to make money on later. I don't know that we will, but that would be super cool if that's what it was. Nice power steering whine. I'm gonna do a quick visual. Maybe. There's no way. There's no way. The harness is laying on the front drive shaft. I swear I didn't look at this truck before. Hold on. See, I'm gonna get a shot. Nobody believes me right now, in that I didn't look at this truck before. It might be. I mean, I'm kind of excited. Don't touch that harness, Tom.
I'm not.
Yes, you are. Get out of there.
Oh, my hands are on my chest.
Oh, dude, that is so sweet. There's even. Hey, can you guys? Hey. Hey guys,
Yeah.
I don't want to shout because you've heard my videos where I'm shouting, but I want you to hear me, so you need to like kind of crouch down and I want to talk about this. This wiring harness, yeah, get your finger out of there. This wiring harness, guys, is absolutely rubbing on the front drive shaft, so much so that there's a clear a rust ring that was worn off around where the harness is rubbing. And this harness does go to the vehicle speed sensor. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start it, and then I'm going to try to move the front drive shaft to make the truck stall. Can you, or I'll push on the harness. Can I have one of you guys start this for me?
Watch your
Thingy.
Yeah, go ahead. Shut it off. Okay, so I may have gotten a little too excited. It is rubbing on there, but I couldn't recreate the fault. So you saw what I was doing. I was rotating the drive shaft and trying to push on the harness. So at this point, what I'll do is I'll open the conduit and just take a look. And I jumped the gun. I got excited for nothing. The conduit is rubbing and it's starting to rub through, but it has not rubbed on the harness through yet. Okay? That sucks. That would have been super awesome if that's what it was, but I don't believe anymore that it is. A little bit of excitement there that was not fruitful. Kind of sucks. That harness is laying there, but it looked, at least I was kind of hard to see, like with the camera and my eye too, as I'm looking through the lens. It didn't look like it was rubbed all the way through the conduit. So not the case. I think at this point I'm going to stop this video for this one. I'm going to start the truck, let it run, get it hot, see if I can recreate it, and then pick it up from there. We'll see what happens.
Okay.
No, I don't need it running just yet. I should have had this rolling on the last comment. Hold up, guys. Be quiet down there for a second. Off camera, I just went down and talked to Big Pete, which is Pete's dad, and he told me that when they pulled this truck off the flatbed, the owner told him that it would run all day long sitting still. But as soon as they moved the truck, that's when it would die and stall out. So I said to my students, I'm going back under, taking a closer look at this harness on where it was rubbing, because the symptoms match exactly. Let me show you what I found. Okay, so you guys saw before I was focused up here, and there is some rub through on that conduit. But what I failed to notice further up the drive shaft is I failed to notice the wiring harness rubbing right there. And it looks, yeah, we got some broken frayed wires right there. And so what I'm going to do is start the truck and recreate the stalling problem first by moving that wire right there, okay? Can you start that, Tom? Come on.
There's 3 rings, Danner. There's one right here. There's one right here.
Is it rubbing on the top here too?
3 different places. Yeah.
Sure is.
I guarantee you that's your issue.
I do too. I just need to recreate it.
Yup.
Yeah, truck off.
Just like that.
That is pretty cool. Wish you could see my face right now. I had some students giving me crap off camera. I wish I could have caught that too, because right now I'm flipping that student off. In a nice way. Okay,
That was awesome.
hold on, can you hand me my computer, please? So it was Ben that I was in my mind flipping off there, although I did off camera flip him off, because what you guys missed is Ben, guys, what did you say again, Ben? We all need to hear it.
Can't. Just
No,
give him a little,
oh yeah, the Danner can't.
Yeah,
from my brother.
Yeah.
What you said something else though.
What did I say?
Some smart ass comment about Danner thought he knew what it was, but he was wrong,
But he didn't.
or like something like that.
Yeah.
And
I'm just giving you a little bit of motivation. Because you were super hyped because you thought you knew what was wrong.
I
Then
was.
you got really sad.
I was super hyped because I saw the rubbing on that drive shaft and it was super cool, and then now it super wasn't
So
after that.
I was getting you amped up again.
Well, it worked.
Obviously you can.
No, it's fine. Kind of.
I knew you were going to be able to solve about it.
Okay. Yeah, my butt hurts
Might
a
drop
little
your grade
bit.
a couple points.
Yeah. Okay, look. On this particular truck, if you look at the diagram, see the violet white wire on pin 6 on the computer? Yeah, sorry. It's not real easy to see for all of you guys, but there's a 5-volt supply right here, and then underneath is an 8-volt supply. So on the earlier Chryslers, they put the cam, the crank, and the vehicle speed sensor on a separate 8-volt supply, as opposed to the TPS, the map, and everything else that's on the 5-volt supply. You follow? Questions? He's good. Questions? I don't think you guys totally, we have some distractions here. Randy's doing something with a bag, I don't know what. Should have all of you guys on camera. Oh yeah, I guess I should have mentioned that in this video, I do have all of my students at Rosedale Tech. I won't
just have,
pan
like, a
on
little,
you. Hold on, wait, we need a little
You should do a little video series.
Well,
Like,
something I forgot to tell you when we started this one, I have a bunch of jokesters here with me. There's a few behind me too, and there's a few that don't want to be on camera. So if you want to be on camera, go over there for a second. I'll get everybody that's here. I would love to have you guys on camera. You need to see what I'm dealing with here. So some of you would know already that you guys are here because this is the second car of 4 that we're doing today. This is my class that's joining me here and giving me all kinds of crap, off camera, on camera. So this is my class at Rosedale Technical College, and it's Ben. See the one in the middle that's smiling? Yeah, he's the one that rubbed me wrong off camera. Oh my goodness.
unless you wanted there to be.
All right. So anyway, so you guys understand the chatter that's in the background on this one. Sometimes I forget that this is going to be a separate video, and you didn't see the intro to the other one. And anyway, back to the truck.
I like potatoes.
Here, now we'll just leave this there. We can see how much you guys are paying attention to me as I'm talking. Does that bother you?
No.
No? You don't mind looking foolish on camera?
I love looking foolish on camera.
Okay, listen, serious question. Focus for a second. 5-volt reference circuit we talked about, right? What's that? Section 9 material, chapter 9 material. This will be a good one for links for other sorted reference circuits. Will be in the description of this video for you guys, so make sure you're paying attention to that. On these early Chryslers, the cam, crank, and vehicle speed sensors were put on an 8-volt supply and pulled off of the 5-volt. On the newer ones, they put all 3 of those sensors on the same 5-volt supply as the TPS map and everything else. So what happens when you sort out the 5-volt reference? Exactly what happens to this truck. In the case of the vehicle speed sensor, and why the vehicle speed sensor shorts it out on this one, is we lose the cam and crank supply. The same way the reference circuit on today's cars happen would be the same thing that happened with this. And if you look at the diagram, this 8-volt supply, the orange wire, that's the one that I grounded underneath and touched on the drive shaft to make the truck shut down. Let me just go on this one. I'll let you guys look at it. Check out the orange wire. I'll move. Look at the orange wire on the crank. It says distributor and vehicle speed. Can you guys, you see it?
Yeah.
So that 8-volt supply would react exactly like the 5-volt reference circuit. So if we short anything out, what's it do? Pulls it all to ground. As soon as you let go of that short, as soon as that short goes away, it comes back. What are you doing?
I'm just looking at the frame.
Okay.
No trust.
I know. There is no trust right now at all. I'm like, what's going on behind me? What's going on over there? Why is Shane smiling so much back there?
That's a good diagram.
He's so excited for it.
Dinner porn.
Put it on your YouTube. Don't put it on your YouTube.
I got Ben that's playing with my camera.
Look
Okay.
at that sexy face.
Yeah.
I'm putting it back into frame. It's back. It's back exactly where
Get
it was.
away from my camera. Okay.
This is where we can have nice
Hey, seriously, focus for a second. You are on camera, and whatever the comments are about you, Shane, I'm going to let them go. I'm not defending you at all. That actually, he does pay attention, but it just might not look like it right now.
And his wire cutter.
Oh yeah, I broke his dikes. That'll forever be on camera.
Talk to Bob. $100.
$100 dice.
Yeah.
Maybe from
All right.
maybe from Snap-on.
Is there any questions on this truck? Is there anything else we need to do?
Push it in.
So back up for a second. I said the trouble codes really didn't help me, but they kind of did, didn't they?
Yeah.
We had a vehicle speed sensor fault code. The last truck I saw like this, it did not have any fault codes, but it was just the physical movement of the truck that made us look at the drive shaft. And honestly, if this is not in 4-wheel drive, it doesn't happen the same way as it would in 4-wheel drive because of rotation of that drive shaft. So,
How long ago was that with the other student?
how long ago?
Yeah.
A couple years. But you never forget those things, Darius. I mean, it's one of those ones. It's like, you know, when you see it, it just gets burned in your memory. Right. So that's what it was. I mean, so what helped us here would have been previous stuff. What you would have had to do outside of previous knowledge would have been to recreate the fault, which would have been difficult because you would have had to move it. And then you would have to figure out what you were losing in the process. What would make a vehicle shut down like that? Again, with your foot off the gas pedal, on the gas pedal, doesn't matter. You'd start focusing on your ignition system, maybe your fuel system. What you would have found is immediately your injectors would be shutting down. Immediately your ignition coil would be shutting down. And so in that scenario, that would eventually point you back to the cam and crank signals. And what you would have found is when this shorts out, you'd be losing your cam and crank. If you were a parts changer, you'd be throwing a cam and crank sensor in it because you'd be losing the signals. But what you have to do before you change any component is make sure you have a good reference and a good ground. So once you saw the crank sensor drop out, then you would have taken your wire and moved over to the reference wire, and what you would have found is when this thing acted up, you would be losing your 8-volt supply. And that would have brought you back to the vehicle speed sensor. So think about all of those steps involved. If you were persistent, you would have found it. But it would have been difficult in this one, not having any previous knowledge of the design on this. This will be something hopefully you guys will remember though, and that maybe down the road you'll be able to shortcut it a little bit. Does that make sense though? I mean, you'd see a crank sensor dropping out and you'd be like, bam, that's it. Imagine how long it took you to get there. You saw the injectors dropping out, you saw the coil dropping out, so you went after the crank sensor, saw that signal drop, threw a crank sensor in it, were super confident in your call, only for it to happen again. Because what you failed to do when the crank signal was dropping out is you failed to confirm your reference and your ground circuits. And what you would have found is the reference circuit was dropping, the 8-volt supply reference was dropping, and it was because of a shorted vehicle speed sensor wiring. Yeah, that would have been a little painful, but you would have remembered. And now you have a little kickstart for the future. All right, I'm shutting this one down. Thanks, guys. This is, again, my class at Rosedale Tech. You guys are awesome. Thank you.
Yeah.
Last piece, guys, would be the repair on this truck. The repair on this truck would involve fixing the wiring, of course, running some new conduit, and then getting that up away from the drive shaft. So inevitably, someone would be giving me crap about, well, what'd you do with the wire?
Zip tie.
Well, I fixed it, right? I don't think we need to show the fixing part of the wire because I'm not fixing it anyway. Pete's gonna fix it. I'm just gonna point and say, fix that. And then he's gonna pay me for that. Sound good?
Yeah,
okay,
sounds great.
all right. Just wanted to get a quick shot of where that harness is damaged. Do we have some focus here? So the rest of them were damaged pretty bad. This one just rubbing right there on the orange wire, right above my thumb.
You don't even see the fray or anything.
Yep.
It looks smooth.
That's the only one that would cause the shutdown because of the 8-volt supply being the same as the cam and crank. These other ones that are broken, non-issue. It would short out your vehicle speed sensor. In fact, this one's broken all the way. Right, look.
So what, you would just splice those out?
This one's broken all the way. Yeah, we just splice them, fix it. But the one that was shutting the vehicle down is that one right there, that orange one right there. Just kind of moving it so you can see hopefully that's showing up on the camera. A little bit of conduit or insulation that's missing.
Yeah, I get rid of this not knowing anything. Don't worry.
Cool.